let's break some news. So, folks, these are a couple videos that we're going to show you. Obviously, jury deliberations have begun in the Trump hush money case. And here is Donald Trump coming to meet the reporters. Looks not good. Not good. Believe me, not good. This is as defeated as I've ever seen him. So let's take a look.
Thank you very much. I would say, in listening to the charges from the judge, who's, as you know, very conflicted and corrupt, because of the confliction, very, very corrupt.
That'll work.
Mother Teresa could not beat these charges. These charges are rigged. The whole thing is rigged. The whole country's a mess between the borders and fake elections.
Kidding, joking. Just doing a little trolling. Don't mean we love our MAGA audience. We love you. We love you very much.
We love Trump.
Yeah, just teasing.
He's a poet warrior in the classic sense.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll back this up a little bit.
The whole thing is rigged. The whole country's a mess between the borders and fake elections, and you have a trial like this where the judge is so conflicted he can't breathe. He's got to do his job, and it's not for me, that I can tell you. It's a disgrace, and I mean that. Mother Teresa could not beat those charges, but we'll see. We'll see how we do.
Mother Teresa could not beat these charges. Okay, so what is he talking about? Like I said, I enlisted the help of my brother to break down some of this late-breaking information. So I'm going to play a video for you guys from Fox News from just a few minutes before we came on the air this afternoon. So essentially, Trump is charged with falsifying business records. Now, falsifying business records by itself would be a misdemeanor, the statute of limitations on which would have expired in this case in 2019. And so they have to charge him with a felony. And in order to charge him with a felony, he has to be guilty of falsifying business records with intent to commit a second crime. There are 3 possible second crimes he could be guilty of, which would have meant he would have been falsifying those business records in service of one of 3 additional crimes. One is a tax law violation. One is a falsification of other business records violations, which kind of seems like a two-headed snake because couldn't that be the first falsification? But anyway, not to complicate things too much. And the third is a federal campaign law. So he has to be guilty of falsifying business records in service of one of those 3 other crimes. And what the judge is saying now, what the judge is telling the jury now, is that they do not have to be in agreement on what that second crime is. They can pick from either one of those 3. And a lot of people are saying that's very unfair. Okay, so let's hear this.
That's like saying if Donald Trump has had any venereal diseases, he's guilty of all of them.
Exactly.
What are the odds that guy hasn't had a case of chlamydia?
Exactly. Well put. Well, that the analogy my brother gave me to simplify this is that if you were going to say, okay, we're going to charge someone with a felony for jaywalking because that jaywalking was in order to commit a second crime. So did you jaywalk in order to rob the bank across the street? Did you jaywalk in order to steal the car across the street? Or did you jaywalk in order to sell the guy drugs across the street? And what the judge is telling the jury now is you can disagree on what that second crime was as long as you all agree he's guilty of one of those 3. We will add those numbers up. So 4, 4, and 4 to make things simple equals 12. Guilty verdict. That's what they're saying now, which is not the way crimes are typically prosecuted. If you're charged with a murder, the jury has to piece together how you committed that murder. They have to agree on a chain of events and say, yes, beyond a reasonable doubt, all 12 of us are in agreement. You did it. Right. That's not what's happening here. So let's hear this explained on Fox News as broken probably about 45 minutes to an hour ago.
Let me ask you about the 3 choices.
And one thing, I guess 11:07 a.m., whatever, a few hours ago. You get what I'm saying. All right, here we go.
Well, let me ask you about the 3 choices. And one thing in particular that this judge said that these jurors could do. He just delivered what is being called really the pinnacle of all of this. He said that there is no need to agree on what has occurred. They can disagree on what the crime was among the 3 choices. Thus, this means that they could split 4, 4, 4, and the judge would still treat them unanimously. What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, it's really outrageous because in a normal criminal case, every statutory crime has what we call elements of the offense. Like in a bank robbery case, it's, you have to rob. It's got to be a financial institution. You have to show intent. Those are the things the jury has to agree on unanimously that they were proved beyond a reasonable doubt. Here, what we're doing is taking the element that actually makes this a felony, because remember, falsification of records is normally a misdemeanor in New York. What makes it a felony is that you're concealing or committing another crime. And here the judge is telling them they don't have to agree about what the other crime is under circumstances where that not only is what makes this a felony, what makes it a 4-year potential prison penalty rather than a year or less, but it's also what gets us into the courtroom, because if this had been a misdemeanor, the time to bring this case would have lapsed in 2019. So the only reason they're still able to bring this case is because it's a felony, allegedly, and yet now the judge is saying, you don't have to agree on what the felony is.
All right, so this is an example. My brother gave me a very legal term here since he does this for a living. This is an example of what people in the legal profession call fucking bullshit. That's how it was described to me. Yeah, no, it seems like they are lowering the standard that you would need to convict someone beyond a reasonable doubt in order to cast this wide net. Okay, you don't have to agree on a specific chain of events. What that guy was saying on Fox News is whatever that second crime was that he was doing the first crime in service of, that determines intent. So if you can't agree on intent, can you really agree on a crime that's been committed? It's basically what the judge is saying. Look, you all know he did something. So just vote to say he did something. We'll add those numbers up. What exactly he did, you don't have to agree on that. We get to 12 people who say, yeah, this motherfucker did something. Boom, guilty. That seems to be what they're doing. So I want to thank my brother for helping us with some last-minute legal advice. I think I owe him $3,700 for half hour's labor. So hit us up with those super chats, folks.
Yeah, well, this is the kind of thing, we just covered Braga, the Bronx MAGA rally. And this is the kind of thing that fuels, that lends credibility to Trump's constant claims of, hey, nobody's ever seen anything like it. I'm as honest as the day is long, but they treat me like a crook. No, he really is a crook, but not in the ways that they claim. And even where he actually is guilty of what they accuse him of, it's selective prosecution, because I'm sorry, you have the Bidens running around with a lot more evidence of pay-to-play politics over the years than anything they're accusing Trump of. And where's the 10 prosecutions? Not James Biden. Why isn't he being tried? Hunter, he is being tried, but not nearly for the amount of things that the evidence would indicate he should be tried for. If his name was Trump, he'd certainly be getting tried for pay to play with Burisma. So yes, this is what lends credibility with a lot of the Trump supporters and fans to the idea that Trump is this hero fighting the deep state. Yeah, they're attacking him and they're going after him, but he really is a scumbag. And a lot of people have a hard time holding two ideas in their minds at the same time. Those are not contradictory ideas. He's a scumbag. He's not their scumbag in the way that they would want him to be for him to assume power. So they are selectively prosecuting him for things, many of which he's guilty of, that they would completely look the other way on if it were anybody else.
Yes. Yeah. And one of the things that makes the libs so insufferable is they will really revel in this ruling here, which seems to be a witch hunt of a prosecution. And they'll make a big deal over the unified Reich thing, which was a blurred out couple of words in a graphic that a staffer put up and then took down as soon as he was told what it was. They'll act like that is evidence of some, evil conspiracy and dog whistling. And they will, like I said, I'm sure MSNBC's ratings are through the roof right now, given the fact that Trump himself seems like he seems to think things are going to go badly for him. That's why he came out and said Mother Teresa couldn't beat these charges, right?
What could save him is a hung jury, because you could have someone on that jury who turns around and says this isn't fair.
This is bullshit.
Nope.
Yeah,
nope.
He's not guilty of anything. You could.
That's it.
You absolutely could. I mean, that is a possibility. But they will, criticize Trump for all these reasons. Meanwhile, we're going to criticize Trump later in the show because he promised to set the Free Palestine movement back 25 to 30 years if he gets a second term. He'll deport foreign students who protest on campuses.
Right.
He will crush dissent. So I hate Trump for that reason. A real reason.
For the right
Not
reasons.
for fake bullshit reasons that drive, TV viewing on MSNBC.
Please clap.